Welcome to Section 3 of the PREP video tutorial on navigating the school system. In this video, we will learn about how to identify and resolve the English language learner and limited English proficient issues your child might be facing at school. This video tutorial is provided by PREP, the Parental Readiness and Empowerment Program. We offer helpful information, not legal advice. We try to be accurate, but rules can change and may vary by state and district. The last type of issue we'll cover is related to you or your child's status as an English language learner or ELL parent or student. ELLs can also be labeled Limited English Proficient or LEP. Some examples of English language learner issues include not receiving information or notices in a language that you understand. Your child is now proficient in English and you would like your child to exit your school's ELL program, but the school keeps the student in the program. Your child has limited English skills and you believe your child isn't receiving the correct services he or she needs. Your child is limited English proficient and is in a separate class all day. Or you worry you can't help your child with his or her homework because it isn't in a language that you understand. So ask yourself, are you or your child having one of these issues? Did you recognize that it was an English language learner issue? If your child has one of these issues, you should first speak with your child's general education teacher and your child's English language learner teacher. If you feel more comfortable speaking in your native language with your child's teacher, you can ask the school for a translator. If the teachers are unable to help you, speak with the school or family liaison if your school has one. If the liaison isn't able to help you, speak with your school's English language learner coordinator if your school has one. From there, you can speak with your school's principal. Again, if you need a translator, request one. And then your school district's English language learner office. The title of this office or position may vary by district and state, but this is the person who will know the most about the regulations and policies for English language learner programs. You might reach out to the superintendent, but if the issue has reached this level, you might want to reach out to an outside organization. If none of these people can help you or the issue isn't fixed, you may file a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights, contact an attorney who specializes in education litigation, or contact an education advocacy organization within your state. There are many resources dedicated to helping ELL students and parents with problems they're experiencing at their local schools. To view resources specific to your state, try searching the internet for Legal Advocacy Agency English Language Learners with the name of your state to get the results that will help you the most. So let's take a look at an example of how a parent resolved an English language learner issue. Luis and his parents recently moved to the United States from Honduras. Luis is a third grader and was identified as an English language learner. He was placed in an English language learner program, which meant that he was pulled out of class 4 times a week to work on skills related to learning English. Luis was still in the general education classes for language arts, math, and social studies. In Honduras, Luis was always at the top of his class and received all A's. So Luis's parents were shocked to find out Luis scored far below grade level on the math state assessment. His parents thought that Luis would excel in math since he didn't need to know English to do math. Because Luis failed the state assessment, he couldn't move on to the 4th grade. Luis explained to his father, Juan, about the state report and that he knows how to do the math problems because he can watch the teacher do examples on the board, but he struggles with the exams because he can't read the English instructions. Juan wasn't familiar with all of the laws and rules at the school, but he knew it didn't seem right that his son couldn't move on to the 4th grade just because he couldn't read the directions to the exam. So he did some research and figured out that under the Elementary and Secondary Education Act, also called ESEA, the school was required to provide assessments in Luis's native language unless there was no way the school could do it. Luis's father thought that this would help his son. He wanted to call Luis's math teacher, Ms. Clark, but he knew Ms. Clark didn't speak Spanish. So he found a friend who spoke both English and Spanish to set up a translator to call Ms. Clark. Over the phone, Juan explained to Ms. Clark that Luis failed his state exam because he didn't understand the directions. He asked if Luis could retake the exam with Spanish instructions. But Miss Clark declined to let Louise retake it, since the state exam was already over, and Louise would pass third grade after one more year of learning English. Louise's father decided to talk with a school and family liaison. After finding out that the school didn't have one, he decided to work his way up the chain of command to meet with the school English language learner coordinator. But he found out after asking the front office that the school also didn't have an ELL coordinator. So he asked for a translator and set up a meeting with the principal. The principal repeated what Miss Clark had said. It would have been easy for Louise's father to give up. Every time he spoke with someone at the school, he had to use a translator, and no one offered to help him. But Juan was persistent and called the district English language learner office, which he found by using the school district's website that was also available in Spanish. Finally, he found someone from the ELL office who spoke Spanish, and he explained the situation using his notes from his contact log, which we talked about before. Juan found out that the school is required to provide test instructions in Luis's native language, if the school can do it. In a school with a high population of English language learners, the school should be able to make this accommodation and should have given the exam instructions in Spanish. If the district ELL office wasn't helpful, or the district didn't have one, Louise could have reached out to the superintendent or an advocacy organization. The key takeaways from this video on resolving English language learner issues are the school is required to provide instructions and assessments in a student's native language. It's also best to first speak with your child's general education teacher and English language learner teacher about your English language learner issue. Finally, be persistent. If the issue continues after you speak with your child's general education and ELL teachers, contact the school or family liaison, the ELL coordinator, the principal, or the district ELL office. Congratulations! You have finished Section 3, Navigating the School System video tutorial. Stay tuned for the Special Education video tutorial. You can visit our website at prepparents.org for more details. You'll also find resources tailored to your state and more information on how to ensure that your child gets the best education possible. We would also like to thank our PhD sponsor, the PepsiCo Foundation. Thank you for joining us today, and we hope that this video tutorial has been helpful to you and your family.